The simulation said humans had a 0.003% chance. Reality disagreed violently. Layla of the Galactic Combat Analysis Division did not believe in miracles. Statistics had cured her of that. She believed in probabilities, attrition curves, logistical ceilings, and failure rates. She believed in cold equations that predicted bloodshed long before the first shot was fired. And every equation she carried into this assignment told her the same thing. Humans were about to be erased. 1. Arrival. The math said extinction. The observation platform slid into position above the third moon of Karen's reach with all the grace of a bored bureaucrat. Layla adjusted her neural recorder, calibrated the multispectrum feeds, and brought up the engagement overview. She blinked, then blinked again. 8,000, she muttered. The display confirmed it. Human defenders, approximately 8,000 personnel. Borax Empire invasion force, 50,000 ground troops, 1,200 atmospheric fighters. Orbital support, preparation window, 72 hours. Projected survival probability, 0.003%. Layla sighed and initiated the standard observation protocol. She had seen this story before. New species, overconfident, brave, doomed. The Borax Empire did not lose first contact wars. They industrialized them. They turned planets into case studies and species into cautionary footnotes. Layla keyed a note into the log. Initial assessment. Humans appear physically fragile. Limited exoskeletal reinforcement. Reliance on kinetic weapons. No visible psionic shielding. Recommend classification as short-term resistant species. She paused. The humans were calm. That was unusual. 2. Colonel Webb and the problem of smiling humans. Layla's sensors locked onto the human command center, a reinforced subterranean structure stitched together with materials that looked frankly outdated. Inside stood Colonel Dame Webb. He was laughing, actually laughing. "Say that again," Webb said, leaning back in his chair. A younger human officer gestured at a tactical display. "If they drop right here, sir, they'll stack themselves like bad furniture." Webb grinned. "Perfect. Let them unload completely. I want them comfortable." Layla frowned. Humans were supposed to be emotionally volatile under existential threat. Elevated cortisol, fear responses, panic behaviors. Instead, one human was drinking something hot from a metal cup. Another was arguing about music. Someone else was eating a sandwich. A sandwich. "They know they're about to die, right?" Layla muttered. Her translation matrix picked up Webb again. "All right," he said casually. "Check timers, run diagnostics, make sure the toys are fed." "Toys?" Layla echoed. No species referred to battlefield assets as toys unless they had a deeply unhealthy relationship with violence. She added another note. Anomalous morale indicators. Humans display inappropriate levity, possible cultural dissociation response. She was wrong, badly wrong. 3. The Borax opened the door, and Luz the Sky War leader, Theodore of the Borax Empire, appeared on Layla's auxiliary feed, his mandibles flexing with anticipation. "Begin atmospheric suppression," he commanded. The sky filled with fire. Borax fighters screamed downward in tight formations. Plasma cannons primed, confident and cruel. This was the part Layla had seen dozens of times. Skies burned clean, defenders pinned, morale shattered. Instead, the humans fired once. Layla's sensors went wild. Dozens of thin, nearly invisible trajectories erupted upward. No plasma bloom, no thermal spike, just movement. Then Borax fighters began to vanish, not explode, not burn, disappear. 6 minutes later, 47% of the Borax atmospheric fleet was gone. No human casualties, no visible launch platforms. Layla's recorder stuttered as her probability models collapsed into nonsense. "That's not possible," she whispered. War leader Theodore roared in confusion. "What weapons are those?" Layla didn't know. They looked primitive, kinetic, but the guidance systems were surgical, predictive, almost anticipatory. Colonel Webb's voice drifted up through intercepted comms. "Airspace is closed, boys. Ground delivery only." Someone laughed. 4. The kill box, where confidence goes to die. The Borax adjusted. They always adjusted. 50,000 elite ground troops deployed in armored transports, their exosuits bristling with shields and energy dispersal fields. They would overwhelm the humans by mass alone. Layla watched the first transport land. The humans didn't fire. The ramp lowered. Borax warriors poured out, roaring, weapons raised. Still no response. Layla frowned. Why aren't they? The ground detonated. Explosions didn't rip outward, they folded inward. Pressure collapsed armor into its occupants. Kinetic penetrators followed, striking joints, seals, micro gaps only a species that had studied borax anatomy intimately would know. Killbox, then another, then another. Human units moved with mechanical precision. Fire, relocate, vanish. Borax armor became coffins. Shields amplified the shock waves instead of stopping them. Layla's internal temperature rose as her mind raced. They designed the battlefield. They invited the Borax in. One Borax commander screamed over open comms, "Our armor is failing," a human voice replied cheerfully. "Yeah, we noticed." 5. Fire and movement. Humans become ghosts. Orbital bombardment followed. It did nothing. Human positions shimmered, distorted, and then simply weren't there anymore. Borax targeting systems failed. Motion sensors showed nothing. Thermal scans read ambient rock. Then Borax units began dying anyway. Shots from nowhere. Explosions without signatures. Entire platoons erased by enemies they couldn't see. Layla's breath caught. "This is advanced stealth warfare," she whispered. "But they shouldn't have this. They're too new." Her logs contradicted themselves. Every new data point widened the gap between who humans were supposed to be and what they clearly were. Colonel Webb appeared on an open channel. "All units," he said calmly. "Phase 2. Let's go to work." 6. The Shadow War. After 20 minutes, the battlefield was silent. Zero human casualties. Borax losses approached total annihilation. Layla watched humans pick up Borax weapons, test their balance, and start using them effectively. One human shrugged. "Still prefer ours." Another replied, "Yeah, but theirs jam less in dust." Layla froze. They had fought Borax before. Worse. She overheard a name she recognized. "Zelthrani," a human said offhandedly. "These guys aren't as tricky." Layla's blood ran cold. The Zelthrani were a myth, extragalactic, theoretical. Colonel Webb finally looked up at the sky, at her. "You can stop hiding now," he said. Her platform's stealth failed instantly. Webb tapped his comm. "Hey," he said, "patch me through." A massive human starship decloaked behind the moon. It dwarfed everything. Webb smiled. "This was a demo," he said gently. "About 0.001% of capacity." Layla's recorder shut down as her classification systems failed entirely. 7. Final entry. Her last log was manual. Humans are not new. They are not lucky. They are not reckless. They are patient. And today was not a battle. It was an introduction. Somewhere below, Colonel Dame Webb finished his coffee. "All right," he said. "Someone tell the galaxy we're done warming up." And Layla, for the first time in her career, felt fear, not of death, but of being noticed.